Hello everyone, my name is Sanjay Singh and I welcome all of you to this online session on Azure Administration. So in this video, in this lecture, we are going to discuss about Azure Disk Encryption. So in which we will discuss how to encrypt your data disk and your OS disk. So which will protect your disk and this would be a safeguard also for your data. So if there would be some compliance commitment for your organization or due to security, if you want to encrypt your data, so we can use Azure Disk Encryption. So whenever you will create a virtual machine, so by default Azure will use one encryption which would be a platform managed key. So Azure use platform managed key. So if you need a solution where your data will be encrypted by Azure, so if you will use this Azure Disk Encryption for Windows VM, so it will use BitLocker, which is a feature of Windows. So through BitLocker, it will encrypt your OS disk and your data disk. So I'm going to show you how you will do this. And again, yes, it will be integrated with Key Vault. So which is the main thing here. So if this will be integrated with your Key Vault, so which will help you to control and manage your disk encryption keys and secret. Through a Key Vault, you would be able to do it. So let me show you how we are going to do this. So I'm going to open my virtual machine. So let me open my virtual machine where you would be able to see my disk. So let me go to my disk section where you would be able to see that there's one OS disk which is attached to my virtual machine, and here I'm using SSE with PM key, that means server side encryption with platform managed key. So I need to enable disk encryption as well. So if I need to enable disk encryption, how I will do this? So we need to go to additional settings where you would be able to see disk to encrypt, which is none. So I need to click on drop down where I will get one option. Now if you want to encrypt your OS disk only, or we have option here to encrypt OS disk as well as data disk, correct? So I'm going to select here OS disk and data disk. So if I need to do this, if I need to enable disk encryption, I need to create one key vault. So let me click on select a key vault where I do not have any key vault. So I'm going to create a new key vault. So let me click on create new, and here I need to select my resource group, which would be the same demo, and my key vault name, which would be like key vault 938. Let me check this name. So that is available here. Region would be East US and pricing tier would be standard. Let me scroll down. So soft delete would be by default enable here, and retention value would be 90 days, which you can customize. So here there is a pulse protection which is by default disable, but yes, if you want you can enable your pulse protection as well. So I'm going with the disable right now. There is access policy, so where you can select this, you would be able to enable for Azure virtual machine deployment, for Azure resource manager template deployment, or for disk encryption for volumes. So I'm going to enable this for all. Permission model, which would be a vault access policies. So it will create one vault access policy. Otherwise you need to assign Azure role-based access control. So I am going with vault access policy. Let me go to networking. So this would be set to public. So we need to review and create. So let me click on create. So this deployment will take few minutes. Once this would be done, I will show you how to select your key vault and how you will create one key. So here you can see my vault is created here, and I have selected my key vault. Now I need to select my key. So just because I have created a new key vault, so there would be no key inside my vault, so I need to create new key as well. So let me click on create new. So where we have option into drop down generate, import, or restore backup. So we need to generate a new key here. So we need to specify one name for my key, which would be like key hyphen demo. This would be the name. Now there are two types of key which we can use or generate. One would be RSA and second would be EC. So if you will select EC, so as compared to RSA, in EC the key size would be less as compared to RSA, correct? So I will show you one image through which you would be able to understand. Right now EC is not available, that is grayed out for me. So I'm going to select RSA. You need to select your key size. So I'm going with the default size. You can select your size as per your requirement here. You would be able to specify your activation date and your expiration date for your keys. So your key will be expire as per the date which you will specify. So this key which we are going to generate, this would be enabled. That is totally up to you. If you want, you can enable, or you can enable later as well. Let me click on create. So this would be created by this operation. Once this would be done, you need to select version. So it will select the latest version. So this would be the version here for my key. Let me click on select. So things we have already selected like Key Vault, key and version of my key. Let me click on save. So whenever you will click on save, your disk will be encrypted. So it will encrypt your OS disk as well as whatever data disk you are going to attach, that will be also encrypted by Azure. So we need to wait for a few minutes. So now you can see the status is updated. Now my OS disk, which is encrypted through Azure Disk Encryption along with this platform managed key. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to create one data disk, and we need to check data disk as well.